Okay, so today it's Friday, so I've got my SBD day, but it's taper week, so it's light. My goal is to squat 275, like easy. For one, I'll do 2 back downs of 3 reps with 240, which also should be very, very easy. Then onto bench, I will plan to do 182.5 for a single, with 4 by 2 back downs at 170. Then on to deadlift, I want to do a 300 single, and then 2 by 7 with 250 kilos. So all in all, it should be a fairly simple workout. The squat, of course, is the only one that gets me nervous, unfortunately, which is just because I'm still getting used to squatting in soft sleeves, which we recently learned we can do stiff sleeves again, which is crazy, once you can compete in them. So like my country is sponsored by SPD, the Netherlands, and so we have to compete at Worlds and Euros in SPD sleeves, which is a little bit unfortunate that they make that mandatory, because it takes away athlete choice and athlete preference. But alas, that's the way it is. Especially unfortunate because that means that there are people who are going to place higher than me, very likely because of the stiff sleeves usage in my weight class. Not every weight class has that issue. A lot of weight classes have it where the top 10 are all SPD, but not mine. Mine has a bunch of people in stiff sleeves in the top 10. And so, yeah, trying to fight my way up there with a disadvantage thanks to the agreed upon sponsorship from our country. But we get a cool outfit, so yeah, cool outfit. I could do without the cool outfit. Though the cool outfit gets likes on Instagram, so that's funny. But anyway, I'm gonna try slippers this session. My last warm up, second to last warm up with 220. That was her advice to do Notorious lifts. I've never squatted in Notorious lifts. I've only ever done it in Ivankas. I'm wondering how that'll feel. I'm looking forward to it. There's no resistance, so I'm curious how it'll feel. I noticed also that another very good Dutch squatter in Serrano, he squats in slippers, very similar slippers, so I'm curious how it'll feel. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll be 220, 250, 275 that you'll see coming up in the video. And then I probably won't talk. It'll just be running through squat, bench, and deadlift, and then I'll do a recap at the end, because that's what's most important, is just how the whole session felt, not just individual lifts for these SPD days. That'll probably be how I do it for these video series. Okay, peace.
Richting de achterhalen sowieso. Go. Go. Zo. Maar. Up. Nee.
Ik ga het over niks, jongen.
Ja, die maar eventjes, als het niet recht is, even de input hoe verbinden het van wat maakt, of puntjes. En dan net aan drukken. Dat is mooi, hè?
Waarom ben je speed dan? Wat een banddeel, hè?
Deze zaal, joh.
Nee, dat ding is niet.
Nee, ja.
Nee? Zo.
Voor mij hetzelfde ook deze zaal. Hetzelfde. Vast.
filmen.
Die andere is ook wel gefilmd. Op horizontaal, maar niet op de Insta.
Deze gaat voor YouTube zeker.
Ja. You want to do a shout-out? Een shout-out doen? Shout-out naar mijn moeder. Shout-out naar Willem. Shout-out naar Jesse's moeder.
En zo naar Richard Span.
Okay, so SBD training is a wrap. 275 to 182 and a half, 300. Pretty okay. Honestly, something a little bit weird happened, I think, on each one of the sets. But it's all right. Like, I didn't come into it too hyped, too focused. Didn't approach each set with like kill level intensity, so that'll happen. The point of this week is to be pulling back a little bit on those things and to mentally be taking it easier. And sometimes weird things can happen. The 275 still on squats still move fast. My bench, really no real issue. It's just I finally, like, my technique clicked really well on my last set of 170 of 4x2. And if it had clicked like that on my top set, it would have just flown, moved quick, but it didn't like absolutely pop. That's fine. Can be expected by a day such as this. The deadlift was a little bit upsetting. It felt very light in my hands. Felt weirdly kind of heavy off the floor. I just didn't engage properly, didn't pull properly. Felt a bit heavy off the floor. Did my first back down with 250 for 7. The first one felt pretty heavy. Second one I locked in, felt really focused on my positions, and it flew very easily. So it's just about making sure to keep my positions correct as I would move forward with these weeks and ramp up intensity as the weeks progress. That's how that goes. Still fairly pleased with where this means that I'm at as I continue to peak and ramp up intensity. I know that when I increase the intensity and volume and weights on my non-primary days, that helps support my performance on the primary days. And so we'll just see how these weeks progress. And hopefully stay reasonably well within the pocket. What's annoying about the 300 feeling a little weird is the 270 really popped. I was a little worried about the floor and everything, and that I might not be able to execute normally with these conditions because I forgot my carpet, which is really autistic, I know, but it does have an impact. But my 270 felt really great, so I was like, I'm gonna smoke this 300. And maybe I underestimated the weight or didn't get focused, didn't get in the right positions, a combination of everything probably. And it moved a little bit worse or quite a bit worse than it can. But I really shouldn't lose sleep about it, so to say. It's about just moving forward. Okay. Peace.